unless you can prove it was the tenant, it's assumed that it's the landlord's responsibility.
Can agents do all this for you?
I've never had a landlord say to me, thanks Perry, can you make sure you send me a copy of the gas cert? It's really important from a tenant's perspective that they can, just like buying a house, they can see what the layout's like. Even if you're going travelling for 6 months, I would say, yeah, you can't rescind your obligation. It shouldn't be acceptable when you're renting your house either. Good communication, good management, good organisation, and you'll be fine.
For that case where you just maybe wanting to do a bit of travelling or go somewhere else, maybe you keep it furnished because that encourages short sharp.
I would still
if I just wanted a short rental,
I would still put your stuff in storage and rent it
even if you want short. Okay.
Because your liability, one, you've got your fire regulation, which is you got to make sure every piece of your furniture has the right level of fire. What's the word?
Retardation.
Yeah, exactly that. So that's more obligation on you. You might have bought something from somewhere which actually isn't compliant.
So you got to go around and check everything.
Everything, yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Every electrical appliance has got to have a portable appliance test on it every year.
Can agents do all this for you? Or but again, it's back to what you talked about before. Hire a good agent because you're personally liable. If something's missed, it's like, well, it's your property. There's no liability there.
If you leave a kettle, you're like in an office environment where you've got to have someone come out and put a sticker on it and say tested every year. That's the same for landlords. So and that kettle blows up, you've got to buy them a new one because that was part of the tenancy. So it's just a lot easier for everybody, I find, that if a tenant wants short term, you go for a service accommodation for 3 months. Probably better because part of that would be having their laundry changed every week as well and stuff like that. It's
like
kind
Airbnb vibe.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah. And it would be more expensive, but even if you're going travelling for 6 months, I would say put your stuff in storage because then also if it gets damaged, unless you can prove it was the tenant, it's assumed that it's the landlord's responsibility. Was it wear and tear? You just sat on it and the leg broke? Did you slam yourself down on it and it broke, or did you just sit on it and break? Like there's so much grey area, and it defaults to fine. We can't prove it was a tenant, so it's the landlord's obligation. The other thing I'd say as well, just on that, is if a landlord is thinking of renting the property out, is many agents think they can cut corners on the marketing and promotion because the lettings market's so strong. So if you look for Rightmove tonight, you'll find probably 70% of the properties for rent have no floor plan, and I think it's disgusting because they just think, that's all right, we get loads of inquiries, loads of viewings, and we'll let it. But it's really important from a tenant's perspective that they can, just like buying a house, they can see what the layout's like.
Yeah, it's like the first thing you look at.
So more information up front. And the other thing is most of them don't do like professional photography. When you're selling your 500 grand house, the agent's going to be earning whatever it might be, 5-10 grand for selling it. So they'll hopefully, at very least, send a pro photographer to take the pictures rather than Mr. Estate Agent rocking up with his iPhone and getting a few shots. That's not acceptable when you're selling your house. It shouldn't be acceptable when you're renting your house either. It should be presented in its best possible light. The quality of your advertising and marketing dictates the quality of your inquiries. I don't mean from a quality of person. I mean the number of, if you've got a really nicely marketed property with lovely pro pictures, a nice floor plan, you probably get 10, 20 inquiries, and you might only get 3 or 4 if you've just got an external shot, which in the external shot, trust me, flick through Rightmove, you'll find one. You'll have a wing mirror in the picture because they've sat in their car from the outside and took a picture. So yes, the market's strong. Yes, there's many tenants out there. That doesn't mean your agent can be slapdash, because if they're going to be slapdash at that stage, how slapdash are they going to be when it comes to your gas safety renewal, which could land you in a lot of trouble.
Which you've said is going to be those problems.
Yeah, you can't rescind your obligation. I think a lot of landlords think that they are. I mean, I guess if you get sued for something, you can sue against the estate agents.
Yeah, but even for all that, like, my God, that's the last thing.
Just make sure, one of our processes that you should be insisting on as a landlord is whenever a agent sends the new gas safety certificate to the tenant, insist that every year I need to email it to me as well. Like, I've never had a landlord say to me, thanks Perry, just a couple of things about my property management. Can you make sure you send me a copy of the gas cert every year, just so I know it's been done? People just assume it's been done, and if it hasn't, we find that out later, it's too late. So just have a little checklist. Maybe I'll create one and put a link down below of just some little checklists that you can send to your managing agent to say, obviously I'm outsourcing the management, the day-to-day. I know I can't outsource the obligation and liability, so I just want you to make sure that you send me this, this and this. I want to hear about my tenants' maintenance issues within, because some landlords are like, why are you bothering me with that for? You manage it. So we do let landlords know when stuff arises. One, because they need to know what we're doing for our money. They kind of need to know, well done, Perry, you've kind of solved all these maintenance issues, and it's more of an FYI, just a heads up. Tenants reported this, sent the contractor out, leave it to us, rather than getting your statement and there's 300 quid deducted, and then you're like, no one told me about that. So good communication, good management, good organisation, and you'll be fine.
Good advice. I like it. It's going to be something that we keep diving into. We keep creating information for people, whether you're a landlord or renter, and I'm sure we'll have lots more conversations in the coming months, looking at how that renters' rights bill is impacted and picking up on some of these areas that landlords can really be focused on.
That's what I want to try and do with the channel. We said this at the first episode. We're going to keep the episodes very focused on a theme. Great advice from you. But we also want to show landlords that if you're a landlord now watching this and you're thinking of selling a property, there'll be loads of advice on this channel for you in there as well, because our team are really good. We've got great experts in every area, but we just want to make this place like a hub for good impartial advice. So yeah, let's roll on the next one.
Yeah, big time. Nice one. Thanks for watching, folks.